I'm not. So just after you do it, just share it someplace with some drive with Ellie. But I'm not sure that Ellie's hearing us. But maybe he only turned it on and went to do other things.
Yeah, he was here early on. We had a quick chat, but
Okay. So I'll write him, and you are also recording it. You know what? I'll also record it. We can never.
yes, let's have.
Yes, recording.
Hello,
I'll
Simon.
record also,
Hello,
and if there's
Marty.
I'm sending you a request, so please,
Yeah,
this
yes, I'm.
time,
I'm approving.
approve
I'm
it.
approving. Hello, Anahit.
Uh,
Hello.
I want to
Oh,
share that we have, if it's okay, I want to say two things.
please.
Vincent, our dear leader, first of all,
You're muted. You're muted, Maria.
hi everyone. I'm Maria. I don't lead this community. I'm
No,
just
you co-lead it.
Vincent's.
Yes.
I'm only Vincent's assistant, and I help him doing whatever is possible here. I want to tell everyone, thank you, Anahit. I want to tell research community, you are invited automatically to all the meetings, and you don't have to register again and again every time. A. B. If you move from job to job, if you move to another email or to another job, that of course you have another email, please update Vincent or update me, because we find it in the hard way, and it fills my email with junk on one hand. On the other hand, you are not invited no more to additional meetings after you move from mail to mail or job to job. So these are two important things. And now, after I spoke about technical irritating things, I want to speak about something wonderful that Vincent is doing here, a great job. 995 people. So I said nearly 300 people are registered to our community, and that is wow.
You said
So I
300
think
or
that kudos.
yeah, okay, great.
Nearly,
Yeah.
we didn't really reach it because all the time I'm also taking out, I'm removing those who have fault emails. So if you want to ask me how many do we have today, because it was up and down and up and down because of, I'll check it in a minute, research community. And we worked very hard today. We have 291 after I removed those who are not active, unactive.
Okay,
So it's
wonderful.
nearly 300 people.
Oh, you're muted again, Maria. I don't know.
And that's
Someone
much
is.
more, it's much less than more than last year. And I think that's time that I can start speaking. And Vincent, our great leader, please lead.
Okay, thank you so much, Moria, for the good news and for the update. So, thank you all for joining us today. So we already have 33 of you who've joined. So thank you for that. So it has been quite a while since we last met. It was, I believe, in November last year. So sorry for this long silence, but don't worry now. We are back on track and we'll get chance to meet more regularly. So let me just share my screen just for a second, and then I will leave the floor, of course, to Gabrielle. Here we go. 15 meetings. So we have the 15 meetings over the past about the past 3 years now that we have started this KMGN research community. So again, for those of you who are new, so the purpose is to get to know a bit about some of the latest KM research and trends. And what we mean by research can be very applied research. It doesn't have to be academic type of research. And hopefully, I mean, through this interaction and through this discussion, you can connect with new people, and potentially this could lead to new collaborations. So we have a WhatsApp group. So a lot of you are already part of the WhatsApp group. If you're not part of it yet, I will share just once I close my PowerPoint the link in the chat so you can join if you have not joined yet. So we share some of the information about the next talks and reminder things like this, or some interesting papers that we come across. So we had over the years a lot of speakers. A lot of you are also here attending today. So thank you for that, for being loyal to this KMGN research community. We have also a YouTube channel, so all of these KMGN research community talks are recorded, and you can access all the previous one. I will again share the link through the chat once I finish with this presentation. So we have, like I said, today is a first session for the new year, but we have three more coming up. So you can already pencil them in your calendar. On June 11th, so we'll have Dr. Patrick Fong from Griffith University that will talk about from jump site stories to reusable know-how. So again, same time on June 11th. The following one will be on September 10th. Dr. Slajana Cabrillo from Issue University will also talk about futurizing intellectual capital. So she published a book last year, and she will talk about some particular aspect of it. And then on November 5th, this will be the last presentation for the year. We will have Dr. Salim Sumbal from Hong Kong PolyU will talk to us about knowledge workers and the future of work. So again, we will send you a reminder, and I think you may have received already, if you're part of the list today from Moria, a calendar invitation. So we will keep interesting topic and great speaker coming up. So today we are delighted to have Gabriele Vollmar with us from the German KM Society, who's going to share with us a competency model, I think that she co-created with some colleagues as part of the German KM Society. And yes, so I will just stop here from now. I will mute everyone just to make sure we don't get such kind of echo. And then, Gabrielle, the floor will be yours. Let me just mute everyone. So you will just have to unmute yourself, Gabrielle, and then you are ready to go.
So thank you, Vincent, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about something that we are working on for quite some years now, as I noticed when I prepared my presentation for today. And I'm happy to see you, Manfred, because you are part of this story. But let's see. So I want to talk about the catalog of competencies for knowledge management that we have developed in the GFWM, the German Society for Knowledge Management. So my input will be rather short today because I thought it might be of more interest to really take a look into the catalog itself. So we will have a little group sessions also. The catalog is publicly available on the website of the GFWM. I will share the link right in a few minutes in the chat. It's available also in English, so you can really take a closer look. But let me start explaining a bit what's behind. So yeah, I will start, of course, with introducing myself and very shortly the GFWM. And then I will do a bit of a storytelling. How was this idea born behind the catalog of competencies? How did it all start, and where are we right now? Because it's maybe a never-ending story, I don't know, but for some years now we developed this catalog further and further. Then we will take a look inside together. I will show you how to use it, what's the main idea behind this catalog, and then, as I already said, in some group sessions, you can give it a try, and we will then come back again, and I'm really curious to hear your feedback. So using the time, maybe I started right side, the GFWM, the German Society for Knowledge Management. Vincent already mentioned it. So it's a network of knowledge management professionals operating in the German-speaking countries, which was founded in 2000. And one of the founders is even here, is Manfred. So it was founded by 4 academics, and it started, you correct me, Manfred, a bit as a more academic kind of society, but very, very soon it moved over to the knowledge management practice as well. And today I would say it's an active network, same as the research network here. Bringing together academics, non-academics, doing a lot of things, especially in the KM practice. And I became a member in 2001. This is when I got this role of a knowledge manager in the company I worked for at the time. And I was so new and I really did not know at all what was expected from me in this role of a knowledge management. So I joined this society hoping to get enlightened, and I'm still a member after more than 25 years. In the meantime, I'm a freelance consultant for knowledge management already for more than 20 years now, and also a university teacher. I was a president of the society for some time, and for years now I'm a member of the advisory board. And I coordinated various working groups within the GFWM. So this is how the society works. So there are topics popping up, brought in by members, and then there is a working group of people who are interested, who want to work on this topic. And this is also how this catalog of competency started. It started as a working group that I've initiated and I still coordinate today. So this was already in 2017. So I was a bit shocked myself that it is already that long that we work on this topic. So what happened nearly 10 years ago? Some people met, and I think you were part of this group, Manfred, at the Knowledge Camp. The Knowledge Camp is the, let's say, yearly conference of the GFWM in the format of a bar camp. And during a coffee break, we were a group of people, trainers, university teachers, all working in this domain of knowledge management. And we talked about how we do our trainings, how we do our university courses. And we noticed that every one of us really made up on his or her own what's a good training for knowledge management, what's a good university course for knowledge management, because there wasn't nothing like a kind of curriculum or, let's say, a target image, what we want to reach with such a course. And talking about it, also, we noticed that all of us, we knew training courses that we considered just not good training courses. And then we came up with the idea that the society, the GFWM, should maybe certify training courses for knowledge management. So we've established a working group, knowledge management certificate. And we had various workshops. And in the first workshop, we recognized if we want to certify training curricula on knowledge management, we first of all need to have a common understanding. We need to have ourselves a defined competency model from which we could derive certification requirements. So we took a step back from this certification idea and we said, okay, we have to start working on a competency model. And already in 2018, we came up with the first framework for knowledge management skill profiles across 3 levels. So we had the level of a user, let's say a knowledge worker, a KM professional, which would be like, let's say, a knowledge manager in an organization. And then the third level we called the expert level. And we presented this again at the KFWM Knowledge Camp, so the yearly conference. But while we were working on this framework, two things happened. So first, we let this idea go about a certification. Because when we discussed this idea that the society should certify training curricula, we noticed that such a service would require really reliable long-term resources behind it. And now you have to know that the GFWM is an organization all based on volunteers. So we have no people employed. It's all really volunteers. And we had our doubts that over the time we could really provide such a service, because it would also mean that maybe every 2 years, every 3 years, we would have to recertify training curricula and so forth. And we all had the experience after years working in the society that our volunteers, they are always willing to contribute when it is about thinking about new things, driving things further, but less when it is about, let's say, more administrative work. So we had our doubt that we could really ensure such a service. Then we had hard discussions about the financials behind, and long story short, we decided to let go this idea of a certificate. And secondly, what also happened during this time is that this working group somehow disbanded. And at the end, it was only 2 people left, Angelika Mittelmann and me. And in 2019, just the 2 of us, we decided to restart this working group as a mini working group, as I said, to move over from certificate to catalog of competencies. So we really like this idea of this competence model, and we wanted to dig deeper into this topic. So what Angelika and what we did is we looked for job profiles for knowledge managers. And spoiler, but maybe not to your surprise, none, not really. Or there are so many completely different profiles that we say, okay, we can't really use this. What we have done then is we've interviewed people from whom we know that they do have this role of a knowledge manager in their organization. Some of them with the title knowledge manager, some of them with completely other titles, but still having this function, this role knowledge manager. And we interviewed them. What's your task? What's your responsibility? What are you doing? And we found that people working in knowledge management do very different things. So job description varied greatly, and I think it is still true today. So it seems that every organization defines what it expects from a knowledge manager for itself. So as a consequently, we also now abandoned the idea of defined skill profiles. Competencies instead. Still in the domain of knowledge management, but it's a catalog. And mid 2019, we published the very first version. And since then, we have regularly published updated versions, minor versions, major versions, incorporating aspects like digitization, of course, AI. So the latest update is due to AI. And still, to be honest, I'm wondering whether we did sufficient changes to our catalog regarding AI. So the current version, which we published end of 2024, is the version 2.4. And in the meantime, the working group has again grown up to 4 members: Angelika Mittelmann, Ute John, Sabine Wachs, and myself. And luckily for this session here, in 2022, we also published an English version of this catalog of competencies. So, what's now intended? So, what we thought might be useful is to provide a catalog of competencies, all related to knowledge management, that people can use to shape their specific roles. So not give clearly defined competence profiles based on clearly defined job profiles, but offer this catalog that people can use to find out, now what's my role? And to be honest, I would have been very happy 25 years ago if I would have had such a kind of support. And I'm now doing workshops again and again when I'm in consultancy projects where people still, they struggle with what's the expectation behind? I shall do management, knowledge management now for my organization. I have no clue what is expected from me. And then I use this catalog of competencies and go through. And then people, it's not that they clearly see their role, but they clearly see the questions they have to ask. For example, that they have to ask, do you expect me to really work strategically on this topic, or do you more expect me to administrate our social intranet? So this means it's about, or it's a catalog that supports various roles that also can be performed on a full-time basis, on a part-time basis. It's not only about this role of a knowledge manager, it's all roles within knowledge management, debriefer, community facilitator, whatever roles there are. And the scope is clearly knowledge management. I will show you in the catalog what I mean by this. So in the group, we again and again have hard discussions ourselves. So, of course, depending on my specific projects, but our catalog is the KM part of my role. So we don't have things in like project management or leadership skills, because we say, yes, knowledge manager might be leading a team, but still leadership competencies is not, let's say, it's not KM specific. So what we try with this catalog is to focus on the KM, specific competencies. So we have structured this catalog in three main so-called competence classes. So it's the personal competencies like analytical skills, strategic skills, learning to learn, and so forth. It's the interpersonal skill set, communication, didactic, change management, advisory. And then we have subject specific, like, of course, the KM basics, knowledge management methods, the knowledge management specific IT skills, and knowledge management specific evaluation. But also, I mean, here I say subject specific, KM specific, but as I said, also in the personal and in the interpersonal part, we focus all the time on knowledge management. And then for each of the competencies, we have 4 levels of proficiency. So here we took the European e-competence framework as a basis. So we have 4 levels of proficiency. And now I switch to the catalog itself to make it hopefully a bit clearer what I'm talking about. So, for example, in the personal skill set, we said analytical skills. And here we have these 4 proficiency levels. And what we have done in this catalog is for each competence, for each proficiency level, we really describe what is the expectation behind, so that people not just say, oh, I think a 3 sounds good, but what is the expectation behind competence level 3? So just to go through analytical skill as an example. So the basic level, level 1 would be I am able to distinguish between essential and non-essential. I can structure and classify system, and I can explain the organizational structure and process flow of my organization. Level 2 means I can explain and evaluate structures. I can explain the interrelationship in processes. I can condense and clearly structure information. And I can describe the knowledge processes within specific business processes. So, more or less, the business processes in my area of activity. So here I hope you see already how we always try to bring in this focus of knowledge management. Level 3 is already very challenging as to me. So if I'm level 3, I can develop a clearly structured view from the wealth of information and data. I can evaluate interconnections in processes. Yeah, Muria?
No, finish the sentence. I have a question on what you're presenting.
Okay, so let me maybe go through the levels and then up to you. Evaluate the efficiency of knowledge processes, evaluate the effectiveness and efficiency of the knowledge management system, analyze and evaluate the framework conditions relevant to knowledge management, and apply analytical methods for conclusions and use them for decisions. And level 4 would be use analytical methods as a basis for decisions, forecast knowledge management from other disciplines for knowledge management, and develop new analytical methods for knowledge management. So you see, level 4 is an extremely high level, and I hope you can see, of course, analytical skill is broad. It can be analytical skill in many, many perspectives. What we always mean here is analytical skill related to knowledge management. Moria.
First of all, fabulous. I wanted to ask on the level of which this is aligned with the ISO 3041 and its requirements.
Yes. One of our updates of the catalog of competencies was when the standard was published. So we immediately met again as a working group, and we've gone through our competencies to see whether we are aligned with the standard. But for example, what we did not do is, it might be good or bad, we might discuss this later on. We don't explicitly mention the standard. So we don't say that you have to know this standard, because what we want to be is rather, let's say, generic. We also discussed this now with this AI. So our last update was related to AI, and we discussed, should we mention certain tools, should we mention certain things, and we always try to keep these descriptions here, let's say, concrete enough so that people can decide on which level they are and what they need to be able to do their job, but remain high level enough so that this catalog of competencies does not need to be updated every month, or can be used throughout various types of organizations for various types of roles within knowledge management. Yeah. Rudolf.
Yes. Can I just
finish sorry, Maria.
a minute? And now, wonderful, because first of all, thank you again very much. I think that the ISO standard is a different state than any other document or tool, because it should be our North Star, and we don't have enough resources to build 7 truth idea North Stars. So I think that maybe at the highest level, if you're speaking about one of the competencies of learning, it should be learning the standard, not certification. And of course, that the topics themselves should align. And I'll give you a hint. Next year, we will have a new version, and a new version will have many changes. So I think that it's a good idea, something like every 5, 7 years, every 7 years, when there's a new standard, that's not every month, that yes, it is
Yeah.
realigned, and B, that the reading or learning the standard itself should be for the experts level, for the number 5 levels, on the competency of learning, because that's part of learning what KM is, and it's not like another tool. That's it.
Yeah, I take this back to the working group, and thank you so much, Moria. I would even think maybe it is something that we should integrate into the level 3, because as you will see, the level 3 is mostly where this knowledge manager is located.
Mm.
So being a knowledge manager in an organization, it's a valid point to say, okay, if today I am a knowledge manager in an organization, I should not only know, but really, I mean, competencies always means bring knowledge into action. So the thing behind would not only be to know the standard, but to know how to implement the standard into my organization. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Rudolf. But maybe, Rudolf, before you ask your questions, we will have some time afterwards for questions and also discussions. So, Rudolf, please speak up. But just for me, let me quickly finish maybe my input after Rudolf's part, and then we can have the discussion afterwards. But Rudolf, please.
Thank you, Gabriele. I'm really impressed by what work has gone in so far. Amazing. And how do you measure the competencies? You don't have to answer now. We will see how it goes forward. Okay. So
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I may already answer it right now, because we don't really, let's say, measure in a technical meaning. So how this catalog is used is that people evaluate themselves, and maybe on their own or in discussion with others. So let's say my organization made me a knowledge manager. So I might have an idea what I think is behind this role. So I can use this catalog to, let's say what's the target profile I think is behind that role. And then I can use this to discuss with the people who decided that they need such a role, to see whether this matches with their idea of this role. So there is no measuring, as I said, in a technical way. But what we tried here is we always tried to describe as concretely as possible, so that people really know what is behind level 3. So this is maybe coming close to measuring. And I think it's clear, but just to show you what's the idea to use it. If I say, okay, I think my role means a target competency at level 3. And then if I want so, I can also provide, let's say, my actual level. And maybe I think at the moment I'm only at 2. And this will then provide here a classic spider diagram. Now is the spider diagram for a knowledge manager. As I said, we didn't find any, let's say, or we found too many job profiles for knowledge managers. So what you see here is the outcome of Angelika's and my discussions. So Angelika used to be a knowledge manager for years and years in a big company. I'm a consultant now. She's a consultant now. We are both university teachers. We know people in this role. So we aligned our idea of a knowledge manager role in an organization without disciplinary management responsibility. So we said, okay, mostly, anyhow, this person is all alone, not having a team. And this is what we said, okay, this is the competence profile for such a role. So you see, mostly we are on level 3, not on level 4. So thing is not that we say, as a knowledge manager, I have to be on level 4 in all the competencies. So mostly we are on level 3, and you will see level 3 already is quite challenging. And sometimes even we are only on level 2. This is the didactic competence, because we said, so in our picture that we have of knowledge managers that we know, those are not training course designers. So, of course, people should be able to give a training on knowledge management within their organization, but level 3 or 4 in didactic competence is much more than that. But then maybe you say, in my organization, the knowledge manager is part of personal development, and the knowledge manager is creating whole training curricula and doing more and more. Then, of course, you can say, no, in our organization, the knowledge manager needs a much higher didactic competence. But maybe less IT competence, because we have subdivided the knowledge management between the non-IT and the IT part, and the role of knowledge manager is not so far into the technical part. So this person does not need that much of IT competence. And this is what I mean with, it's not a competence profile, it's a competence catalog. And you can shape your competence profile depending on the very specific definition behind your role in the organization. So, and now my idea is that you try yourself, because I think you should really take a deeper look into this catalog to find out, what does she mean when they say level 3 in didactic competence is too high? What is behind KM methods? What is behind knowledge management basics? So what do they think should a person know in this role of knowledge managers? So you can, let's say, challenge a bit this picture here. You can take your own understanding of such a role, or you can take your own role and see how you would figure in this catalog of competencies. And as I said, this whole catalog is available on the website of the GFWM. Don't be confused, the website is only in German, so maybe Manfred, we should bring this up. I have an English version as well, but if you scroll down here, and I put this link into the chat, if you scroll down a bit, you find the catalog of competencies version 2.4, and this is this English Excel I've showed you right now. So you can download this Excel and you can use it now in these breakout sessions. And of course, you can keep it and go on using it as you like. It's completely free license. So let me provide the link.
So Gabrielle, do you want to take on question now or after the breakout?
Let's say if it is a question related to the breakout session that you say, okay, before I go to the breakout session, I need to clarify something, then please speak up. If it is something more for the broader discussion, I would ask you first take a look and then come back, and then we still have time for discussion. And maybe, as we are a bit short in time already, what do we say? Like
10 minutes? 10 minutes?
10 minutes. I mean, it's really short, but yeah, let's say like 10
Maybe
minutes to
5,
take a closer
maybe
look. Yeah.
5 minutes, maybe 5, because otherwise we won't have time left to discuss it
Yeah, but
together.
5 minutes doesn't really give you a good
The other
idea
one.
of the catalog, huh?
Okay, so you did share
Yeah, the link is
the
in the
link.
chat.
Okay. So
And then you have to scroll down a little bit, and then you see Catalog of Competencies version 2.4, and that is the English Excel.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So I will create 7 breakout rooms. You say roughly 6 participants? Yes. Okay, so let's try this. And we are there for, you say, roughly 5 or 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Okay, let me just set it up.
Access to KFWM was denied. There is a pop-up message when you enter the website, which is what about the cookies. So just click OK. Normally it should work. Manfred, do you know why it might have been denied?
Okay, I will open the rooms and so I've.
It's just the cookie statement, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Should work.
Okay. Have fruitful discussions.
And I added a deep link, so you should find the Excel sheet.
Okay, thank you, Manfred. Manfred, I think you may have shared the German version.
I think so, yes, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Let's maybe give.
I was trusting that the 2.4 is English, but I'm just I tried to find it.
Me too, but it's not.
Maybe it's down here in the.
Yeah, it's called the Catalog of Competencies 2.4.
Yeah, now I think I found it, and I will share the deep link to this particular.
Yeah, I
place.
already done, but we should also do a broadcast in the groups. Huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Catalog of competencies.
now
Okay, so it's on the website.
this should work. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay, no problem at all.
The world should learn German, by the way. Yeah?
German is the future.
Yeah, but honestly, Manfred, I think we should bring this up in the next meeting we have. Why don't we have at least parts of our website in German? No? Oh, he's gone now. To be honest, I wasn't aware that the website is only in German. Only when I prepared for today, I wondered, but where is the English version of it?
Okay, so now let me check. Yes. Okay, now it's English version.
That was a very short time for the discussion.
Yeah, I know, but 1 hour is also so short.
It looks so interesting, but we need to look into it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of things to read. Yeah. But at least a first look so that you now have an idea what I'm talking about when I mention this catalog.
So I think we are all back or soon all to be back. Yeah, maybe few seconds left. Yeah, there is 22 seconds left, yes. So they will.
You're already here. How are you, Dr. Nixon?
Oh, hello, Abhijit. You're a bit on the side today.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Oh, you are at the airport or somewhere, right?
I'm at the shop.
Starbucks, no? Star? No?
Yeah.
Starbucks, yeah. I can see the star, but I cannot see.
Oh, yeah.
And coffee. Yeah, Starbucks. Yeah, I got it.
The
Okay.
star of the Starbucks.
Yes. Okay, I think everyone should be back by now.
So then, tell me, what was your first impression? This very short look into the catalog.
Time was not enough to go through them, number one. Number two, it was very impressive that four of you have thought into it so deeply. And thank you very much that you presented it to the humankind to get it used. That is most important. I was just commenting somewhere in the breakout room. I think I must share that with you also. I told that knowing is becoming less important after AI has reached. Doing is becoming more important. So the next phase of your this catalog, how you will drive, uh, may need more introspection into how to separate knowing and doing. Not all the time we are clear about it. That where we are using only our knowledge and where we are actually doing something, because the tools nowadays are arriving which are knowing more and more. The more we are training them, they are knowing more and more and able to equip us with ready-made knowledge or the outcome or the output, neat output very quickly. So knowing is becoming less important and doing is becoming more important. I just now shared in the room. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Abhijit, for this feedback. As I said, we already took our round with AI, discussing the catalog, doing some modifications, but I think we will take more rounds as AI is further developing and see also how these roles in knowledge management that we have, of course, in our heads when we discuss the catalog of competencies, how these roles are changing. Yeah, yeah. And as you said, using it on the website of the GFWM, we have published some profiles that were created by other people using the catalog. Unfortunately, they are all in German so far, but please, I would be very grateful if you say, I have created a competency profile now based on the catalog. If you share it with us, we can publish it on the website. I think the more and more of these profiles we have, the more and more orientation we can give people who are new to this role.
We have a question from Marty.
Marty. Yeah.
Hi, Gabrielle. Thank you for your presentation. I was wondering if you had any experience with the Global Skills and Competency Framework for the Digital World, the SOFIA framework. I've put the link there in the chat, and that's a framework that is crowdsourced throughout the world, and they've got a specific section on knowledge management. So did you consider any of that? It's a 7-level competency framework. I really think it's worthwhile looking at what you have done and the work that you have done and how that fits in with the work that is done in that. They're currently in their 9th version. So I would be really keen to see any collaborative work on that and see where the two different frameworks fit.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for sharing it. No, we did not consider it, Marty, but I will take it with me to the working group and we will have a close look. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Moria.
I have a short question. Now that you are 5-7 years after the first development of this catalog, did you or are you considering to run such an analysis and learn how many people are using it, for what are they using it, what do they say success stories in using it, etc.?
We would love to, but unfortunately, our means to do it are very, very limited. So we already asked the current board of the society whether we can at least have the download figures from the website, but we can't. So to be honest, we don't know how often it was downloaded. We don't know who is using it. We only know if people come back to us with feedback or saying, look, we have created this profile based on the catalog. But to be honest, we would love to, but at the moment, we just can't do it. What we will do is in 3 weeks, we will have a longer workshop, like 2 hours, working with people on this catalog. We invited them to bring their profiles and to work together with us on this catalog. Unfortunately, it's only in German, so but we might do this then also in English, but no, we don't know how often it is used and by whom and how it is used.
I would even do something very easy, not go for the full answer, but have the list of people that are part of your network, and I would send them, the German people, the GFWM people, a survey with 7 questions and ask them.
Yeah. We asked several times already in the newsletter to come back to us with some feedback. Not with a survey. That might be an idea to just invite them for a very quick survey. Thank you, Moria. Yeah, I take a note, bring this also back to the work group. Because this is really like a bit, this feeling you have created something, now it's out in the world, and then you don't know what's happening with it. And that is the situation we are in at the moment. Yeah.
I have a quick question, Gabriele. At the beginning of your presentation, you said that your original competency framework was at 3 levels, or at least targeting 3 levels. I mean, knowledge worker, knowledge manager, and expert. And I will have also thought about maybe knowledge champions. But so is it still reflected in your current catalog of competencies, or you just decided to focus on knowledge managers?
Yeah. No, we are not focusing on knowledge managers. So we started with these 3 levels, and behind each of these levels, to be able to define a competency profile, you need to have a clear idea of the role. So you need to know what is this person expected to do before you can define which competencies are needed. So we defined now what is a KM user, what is a knowledge manager, and what is a KM expert. And then we said, we can't define it, because if we say, look, this is a knowledge manager, And then 9 out of 10 people say, I am a knowledge manager, but I do something completely different than what you defined here. So this is why we said we go with this catalog of competencies, which is much broader and where everybody you can use it not only for various knowledge manager roles. You can use it also for other roles in knowledge management. Like, as I said, I'm an expert debriefer, I'm a community facilitator, things like that. So really, we didn't continue with this idea of the levels because we said to do this, we would have to say, look, this is the role of a knowledge manager, and we can't say this.
Okay, thank you. And we just had a small comment also. I think it will be interesting or valuable at the top of your Excel spreadsheet to mention that you need to put an X in the column so it appears. I mean, we saw it because you did it, but if you enter any other information, it doesn't show on the graph later on. So maybe just put a statement, place an X in the column, so it will appear. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes knowledge transfer is so easy, isn't it? Yeah. Good point.
Okay. Can we get maybe a last question because we're running out of time? Any last question from the audience? Anyone?
I have a comment, not a question. I will go
Please,
through
Rodolphe.
this. I will go through this in detail first time. I'm really impressed because you can actually define what is the competency, maybe you're not the competence, but basically the skills required by people at different levels. So let me use it and come back to you. It's a very
yes,
helpful
please do
tool.
so.
It's a very helpful
Yeah.
tool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Gabriele, for presenting to us, and congratulations for all the work and effort you put into this catalog of competencies. Yes, that's quite impressive. And I think, yes, as Rodolphe mentioned, I mean, the more we use it, the more we refine it, and I think the better it will be. And yes, and compare it also to other existing tools if you have played with them. So thank you so much for sharing this with us, Gabriele. Thank you all for joining. And we'll see each other again on June 11 with Dr. Patrick Fong, who will present also some of his research work. So stay safe, everyone. Be good, and see you in a few months from now. Thank you again, Gabriele.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Gabriele.
your
Thank you.
feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.